So yeah, we went from one host at 40 degrees Celsius to another host that's, we have a milder today, probably about 38 degrees outside in Celsius. And it seems like winter to us. We're so excited. Anyway, let me go ahead and share my screen here. Welcome, everybody.
Perfect.
And I'll put it in present mode. There we go. So welcome to, what hour are we on, Pia? It's hour, not quite 12 yet, huh? Our Equinox Share-a-thon. And hour 9, I see. Okay. And let's get started with our video. Oh, wait, I don't know if I shared my sound. Let me stop a minute. I forgot to share my sound. There we go. Now I see it. All right, now we'll go back to it. Thank you for being patient.
Polar Educators International is connecting educators, polar researchers, and communities for a better understanding of polar knowledge. Earth's polar regions are remote, beautiful, and challenging places, and they have a profound influence on every one of us. We know these vast amounts of snow, forming ice sheets, sea ice, and glaciers, together with massive currents of cold water, contribute dramatically to the climate and ecosystems of our world, systems which in turn drive the health of our local environments and communities. Research shows dramatic change in the Antarctic, in our mountainous regions, and particularly in the Arctic, home to over 4 million people, which is changing faster than anywhere else on Earth. Scientists are confirming that human activity is playing a significant role in these systems, increasing the planet's surface temperature in ways that cannot be balanced out by natural processes. It is clear the urgency to engage the next generation in polar research and to rise to the challenges that a changing climate will bring has never been greater. United in our passion for sharing the importance and value of the polar regions, educators and researchers from around the world have formed PEI, an essential global network developing polar knowledge to engage a global audience facing climate change. We are collaborating to strengthen this community, building resources and relationships, and helping local audiences connect polar research to their everyday lives. Polar Educators International amplifies the voices of all those dedicated to understanding and protecting our extraordinary polar regions, and all Earth's inhabitants, for generations to come. Join us.
All right. I want to send a big shout out and a thank you for Sophie Weeks and Barbara Sousa and all of council that helped work on that wonderful video. Thank you all. Let's move forward. Whoops, wants to play again. So as you know, and you've probably heard if you've been on before, but for those of you who have not been on, this is part of our pre-Iceland events. We're getting ready for our Iceland conference in April of 2022. This is our Flamworth, which I probably pronounced wrong, which means a loaded table. So it's a smorgasbord of different things. And we're so excited to have you here today. If you'd like to contribute and continue the conversation beyond today, we have a Slack channel, And you can get to it through the shortened URL bit.ly/ uppercase PEI dash uppercase S Slack. Organizer of the hour, there's me. And I want to thank you, whoever wanted to make me a doctor, but I am not a doctor. And I don't want to take that away from anybody who has worked very hard to get a doctor. And I know my daughter is working on her doctorate right now, and she works much harder than I do. But welcome from Tucson, Arizona in the Sonoran Desert. Also, thank you so much to Pia and Joanna and Betty. This event would not have been possible without all your numerous hours of hard work and your networking. And also there's our lovely organizers. And thank you, Ram, and thank you, Sophie, who spelled PHIE, not Y. And that's all right.
Must have been my Italian help.
No worries, no worries. So let's go ahead and let me stop sharing this and go to a different share and bring up today's presentation. Did you want to introduce anything before I get started on that?
Well, yes, the next one is a conversation that I had with Robert Peroni, who lives in Tasiilaq. It's a small village. It's an explorer, climber, and writer from South Tyrol. In fact, he speaks from an accent, which is quite interesting. In the 1980s, he was making absolute fortune as an extreme athlete for a company called No Limits. Was an explorer. He crossed the Greenland ice cap at its widest point on foot, a world record which still stands. And when he was about 40, he went back to Greenland and he started feeling that he really liked the people there and the people liked him. And he went to and fro for a few years. And then he decided that he wanted just to spend the rest of his life there and really helping the community and the Inuit there. And so the Inuit asked him to buy a house. He never bought a house before. And he bought the red house. You know, in Tasiilaq, all the houses are different colors. It was a Danish idea, depending on who was the employer, the blue, yellow, red houses. Anyway, the red house has become a point of reference for sustainable tourism. Because especially in the old days when the Danish rule was much stronger than it is now in Greenland, the Inuit were providing the work for tourism, but the companies were actually Danish. So Robert started a sustainable tourism using the Inuit and giving back the money that they were making to the Inuit. Anyway, he's now in his late 70s and he's still in love, as much in love with Tasiilaq and Greenland and his lovely Inuit friends as he was when he went to live there. So I feel very privileged to know him, and he was very happy to contribute to this share-a-thon. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll go ahead and get started.
Sure. We welcome Robert Peroni from Tasiilaq, East Greenland. And Robert is Italian, and I would like from Trentino, and I would like to know how you ended up in Greenland. What brought you to Greenland?
I'm going to try and reshare that. It didn't share my sound. All right, let's try that over. I have it on share sound.
It was a half on the way to the North Pole. The North Pole was interesting for adventure and expeditions and traumata and but Greenland was not so important for me. But it was a commercial situation because the Himalayan area and the mountaineering areas, there was overfilled. It was too economical, and it was too much for me. It was too much for me. I was gone, and a friend of mine, he told me, you come to Greenland and we organize an expedition, or you organize expedition. And I say, no, never to Greenland, because it's only flat and the people are not drunken and I don't like it. But afterwards, it was no chance I should come to Greenland. And I was excited. It was unbelievable. I am coming here, mountains enough. But soonest I recognize that the mountains are important for my life, but it's only one piece. The other piece is the people. And through the eyes of the local people, you can wait to find out where you are. And I think the philosophy of those people was unbelievable. They don't talk too much, because they say, whenever you talk too much, it disappeared, like the shamanism. They made nothing special, but they think about. The feeling is only the seeing, yeah, and the skin and the nose. Yeah, it is very important. I was excited. It was very special. And I came back and came back and came back. And after a while, I have bought a small hut here. And it was every time full of people, and to help the people. And every time I was going to Italy, back home, somebody lost the life. Yeah, suicide is very high. It was very high. And people liked me, and every time they say, Robert, you must stay here. You can help us. You are white, okay, but you are a part of our life here. And I say, I am married in Italy. I can go away. But I am gone. And now I am here, and I feel okay. I feel happy. Yes.
So how long ago did you move to Greenland? How many years have you spent in Greenland now?
Yes. The first time I came here 41 years ago. 41 years ago. After I spent a lot of time, and I came and go back and so on. And 25 years ago, I have decided formally, I stay here all over the year. And 25 years, yeah, it is a piece of life.
Certainly, yes. Yeah. But you also organized a tourist company to help the Inuit. The Red House.
Yes. The problem was I was here and I was in a holiday. I was in the mountains. I go on skiing. I was going a hunt with the people here. I was follow, but I couldn't realize it really. And I saw that the people is coming and say they are hungry. I made the food, and they are thirsty. I give them to drink, and they are tired. I give a bed. But it is only for the moment. The idea was the future. And the people here, they don't know exactly, or former times, they don't know exactly how to go in the future. So I say we must do something. We bring my friends here and we made a little bit tourism. All say, what is tourism? And the other people here in town, they say, tourism here in East Greenland, not possible. Absolutely not possible. And I say, it is possible. It is fantastic. It is really fantastic. So the people must love it. And it was so. So I began, and now we have a structure with employees here over the year, 60 to 70, yes. And we have a sort of hotel, and we have boats, we have tour operations, and we organize it, and we have 500-600 people a year from all over the world. And the people here are happy and lucky about, because we buy the fish to eat. We buy the whale meat from and they earn of money. Yesterday they are coming with blueberries. Fantastic. Also the children are coming, 20 euro, 30 euro. It is a part of the life now, and I'm proud about.
That's wonderful. Have you been affected much by the pandemic, by the COVID?
Yeah, the people like people who stay here. It is important for they, not the people they are coming and they are going and coming a little bit and so on. You must make the experience to stay here winter and summertime. And so you know sometime how hard it is, how the life is really. You must be together with the people. And I must admit, it is not very cold here. Also in the winter time, we have 15, 20 degrees below. It was nothing special. We are, it's nothing, not Siberia or not Canada or Alaska. That is a continental freezing. It is not here, no.
And how many people live in Tasiilaq now?
In Tasiilaq are living now 2,000 people. It is the main village, village, I say, here on the East Coast. The East Coast is very few people. We are on the East Coast. It is 20,000 kilometers long, and only 3,500 people living. So it is not so many.
Absolutely, yeah. And are there still people from Denmark living in Tasiilaq, or are they mainly Inuit?
There's no mainly local people. Local people are mainly, but I think 10% now, maybe now are Danish people coming. 20, 30 years ago was nothing. Maybe 2-3 people of them from Denmark, but now it is a little bit increasing. We have more comfort here. We have good houses, and we have good refurnishing. And so we have, I think, 5%, 10%. Yeah, they are living here, Danish people. Yes.
And what about schools? Do they follow the schools of Denmark, the teaching in schools for the children?
Yes, it is not so easy to say. The school is working very well. Very, very well. The project is Danish, of course, and the Danish school is very well organized. But the problem was here that we have another language. The local language is Greenlandic, and West Greenlandic and East Greenlandic also a little bit different. And the school teachers from here was not in the beginning, not educated well. And so we had a lot of Danish teacher, but they don't know the language. It was very difficult. But now it seems we have many local educated people, teachers, and the function is very positive of the school. The other hand, I must admit it, is not so easy because the culture here is a hunting culture. And the school starts 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning after they go home and so on. But the families here in the winter time, they sleep 20 hours. And in the summertime, they sleep only 2 hours. Yeah, it is completely different. And this situation is a little bit a problem for me. Maybe not for the teachers, but as anthropologists, it is a little bit difficult, but to accept, yeah.
Do they do quite a lot of hunting still for food?
Yes, we have quite everyone goes hunting, but they are employed in a company, or they are employed here at the Red House or by the Kommune, and but they go in a weekend, all goes hunting. But we have also professional hunters. Yeah, so you have a booklet. Yeah, you are certified, and the state made a guarantee you can sell all to the state what they are hunting. Yes.
So there is some kind of regulation, for instance, about how many animals can be killed in a certain year or in a certain time? Like in Alaska, yes, there are quotas. Yeah. Do you have quotas too?
Yes, it's very well regulated. Yeah, there are only few months you can catch the narwhal. There are only few months you can catch a bigger whale, and very few the bigger whales. I think in this area only 2 per year. Yeah, it is very few, very, very few. And the whale is not like in other countries, but here is important to survive. We don't have others. Yeah? And the seals are free. The birds are quite prohibited, forbidden. And it is, the regulation are very strong. And interesting is that the people, the hunters, they follow exactly the rules. It is completely different. I tell now from Italy. In Italy, you see the radar, the police stay there, and all the people are braked and very slowly surpass it. And afterwards, they are fast. Here is completely different. The people knows exactly how to go and how the rules are, and they follow the rules exactly because they know that the government, they take care of the people and take care of the environment. They take care.
So do you find that there has been a development in the relationship between the government? Because now it's a Greenlandic government, isn't it? And
yes, correct.
Is it better now that there is more devolution, that there are more possibilities of self-government in Greenland now, or how is the situation?
Yes, the situation, I think it is very quiet now, because now the government is very close to the people. And if they made a failure, they say, okay, it is our people. But before, it was the Schulz was far away. It was in Denmark, the white man, white man. And I think the idea was very good to make this autonomy. And I think the people are satisfied. Yes.
Well, that's very good. And so the situation, how about the actual, you mentioned people, young people that commit suicide, they kill themselves. Is this still a problem with young people not being too happy about their lives?
Yes, it is a problem. It is still a problem. But I think in the last years, it's decreasing a little bit. It's going a little bit better, like alcoholic problems. But you know, it is difficult to say why the suicide here is so high. Of course, future, no jobs, no future, no education, the higher education. The community is very close here, yeah, and the families are not anymore in function like older times, like former times. And the next one is the history. In older time, yeah, the people, when they could help and assist the family, they have to go. They have to go to die. And it is fantastic. It is a great philosophy that you help with your life or with your not life, the family, and all your very kind friends. It is fantastic. It is not Catholic in this one, but it is very, very human. It's very human. You give the life for the other people. I think it's the maximum. And this meaning is a part of the philosophy still now. No people recognize it. The young people don't recognize it, but it is. It is. Yeah.
So like it used to be when the Inuit were nomadic, that elderly people, if it was too difficult, they didn't have enough food, then the old people would choose to die in order to save the community. But
yes, correct, yeah.
And you say now also is still something that the elderly people would do now?
Not anymore.
Right.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I remember 25 years ago, that was very common. So I remember very well when there was departure, 2 people was in the boat and they say, bye, I don't come back.
Really?
Yeah, it is such, yes. And I was also on the harbor by every boat is there in departure. And it was very, very, it has touched me very, very fully. The people was crying, but after they say, it's right. It's great. It's fantastic. Yes.
But that's a very different situation with Europe and the way to think. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, Robert has written 3 wonderful books that are in Italian. And I remember especially the first one, Where the Wind Cries Louder, Dove il vento grida più forte. It's a very beautiful book. And I remember when you tell stories about how the Inuit think and how different it is from the thinking of people in Europe. And they say, Robert, you're always joking when you say something that in Europe we don't do this. And I say, you are joking. because they have a completely different attitude of life. I find
Yes.
that very, very interesting, the difference between the things.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, can you tell us
Good.
something more? It's always everything that you're saying is very interesting. So,
Thank you very much.
sure.
Thank you. Very kind. Very kind. Yeah.
Can you tell us some stories about the people at the moment? What are they doing now? How was the summer for you this past summer?
The summer was empty of tourists, yeah?
Mm.
And we was closed down completely, and the red house was desert, was empty, completely empty. We had some local from the commune, they sent us some people for some organization, but all the others was very, very hard for us. But the people here, they are suffering that their guests are not coming. But they say only, Robert, don't care, it is okay. We soon, I don't can help you, but we will help you. So in the first days, they was quite crying because they was hungry and they was unemployed, but they accept it. It is the fate. It's absolutely the fate. They are not against the government or against the world or against the others. No, absolutely no. They say only that is what do you say? That is the problem of the white men. The white men. It is the illness of the white men. Yeah. So it is the older time. They remember a little bit, and it was a little bit hard for me. But they say, don't worry, Robert, you are white, but you're not white.
You are like, you're.
It is such. No, we are working, we are going hunting, we are going fishing now. In next week begins the fishery of salmon, and all the people are just waiting very hard to go for salmon. And interesting is, and that is the different also for the white men, they don't catch a lot of salmon. They need every day 1 or an hour and a half. So every second day they go for salmon. Or they do away maybe 10 salmons, but not more. If a white man goes fishing now in salmon, he catch 500 kilo. Those people, no. They catch only what they need now. It is fantastic. They are not catching for proudness or for killing. And it's different, yeah. A very, very kind people, very kind people. And they touch the polar bear, which they catch a polar bear. Yeah. Very few polar bears are allowed. They catch them and they take him by the ears and look in the eyes that and say, sorry for. You are our great father. Yeah. You have teach us how to survive in this coldness, yeah, in the hole. But today I was hungry. I have to catch you. Yeah. But they made an excusing. It is fantastic. That is the philosophy of the life here. Yeah.
Do you get many polar bears in the area?
Yes, we have. I don't say it's a lot, but we have some polar bears. But I must also admit they are not aggressive here in our area because they have to catch a lot of seals, and they are very satisfied with seals. They are not against the human. So we have some encounters also with the guests, and therefore we have some guns here to rent out, but they shoot only in the air, not to the polar bear. So it is another situation. Yeah.
Still, it's always a fascinating life how you have been accepted by and wanted by the community. That's something very interesting, that you become part of the village of Tasiilaq.
Yes, they had adopted me.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
but you've done so much. And I think from what you say, that the situation seems to have improved quite a lot after Greenland became more independent with the Greenlandic government. There seems to be a happier situation now. Is that right?
Yes.
Or is,
Yes. 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 That is correct. Yeah. Oh, we have a very good contact with the government. We are only 60,000 people. So the government is quite a family.
right.
Yes, and the Ministry of the Health, he has called me 2 months ago because I have made a request about the tourism and how the tests and so what. Call me one day and say, hi, Robert. So we are familiarly. It is a very nice life, very nice.
Right. Do people get subsidies, money from the government, if they, don't get jobs? Do they can still get money? The people in Greenland.
Yes, yes, yes. All the people here are supported by the government. It is, that is the Nordic countries, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway. They are very human. They are very open in that mind. And it is the same here in Greenland. They have learned it. So all the people, they don't die for hunger. It is the edge of hungry. And but in the winter time, if it is cold in the house, they don't have any fuel. So they become also 20 liters, 30 liters, and people are supported. Yes.
So the situation is quite improved in Greenland, at least in your experience from the past.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Do you get many young people that go away to study and then come back to Tasiilaq?
It is not so easy to say, because of course the youngsters, if you are 10, 15 years old, you think, but we was the same. I was to go to the Mons, I was to go to the Mars, and I was a test pilot and so on. The dreams are kinds, but the kiddies are dreaming. And these kiddies are dreaming to go to the United States or to go to Denmark. But some people, some youngsters, 15, 16 years, they go to the West Coast now. Yeah, and very few go to Denmark for made a school teaching there. And but if they are coming back, they have problems.
Really?
A very well-educated people is here in town. They don't have the job.
Okay.
And we are searching for good educated people, but we are it is very difficult. It is very difficult. And so not a lot, but many youngsters, they go to the West Coast and in the school, or they have a job there, and it's difficult that they can come back. The lifestyle on the West Coast is very high or very different from ours here. The Greenlander says, all the people says, that is the primitive people from the East Greenland.
Really?
But we are happy about. We are happy about. We have one shop. It is all. We don't need more. We are satisfied.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Well, that's absolutely wonderful, Robert. And I thank you very, very much for spending time with us and with polar educators. Is there any message you would like to give to people about the polar regions, about climate change, something about the difference that you must have noticed in 40 years? What about climate change? Do the people adapt? How do they look at the difference
Yes.
in climate?
We feel the difference. We feel the difference. We have ice enough, but the ice is more thin. It is not any more safe. And the poor people, they are going out every day to fishing here on the fjord or outside. And now it is not anymore so sustainable. But I must also admit, the locals here, they have a fantastic philosophy. They accept what they become. They say it is not so nice. Okay, we go fishing with a boat. If there are not polar bears, we find another animal. And they are semi-nomads here, or they was semi-nomads in former times. And they accept all what is the normal situation. Of course, in the television now you see the climate change and this and them. It is a big problem, but the big problem will come in the future. We say if we have 2 degrees more or 3 degrees more, yeah, maybe the fish is gone away. Maybe the seas are away. Maybe the narwhals are not anymore here, but far away. It is a maybe it is a big problem. Yeah.
Right, yeah, of course, because the water gets warmer and so the fish and the animals go more north.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There is now a research team from the government. They take care of that and they are looking about and they made some measurements. What could be in case, what could it be? But that is a situation. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
so
what I would say, you have asked me to give one word to the other people, to your people. I will say a little bit less. It's much more than others. A little bit less is more. Think about, you go in the shop in Italy, a very big shop, square kilometers, and you have there 120 sorts of cheese. You never can eat 120 sorts of cheese. We have here 1 or 2 sorts of cheese. It is more than, not every time, but sometime. It is more than enough. We eat cheese. It's simple.
yes.
Okay.
How to adapt? I think we'll all have to adapt to the new climate problem. Well, thank you so much, Robert. It's been a real pleasure to be with you. And I'm now just So, for instance, what about internet? Do you have some limits or is it easy to connect with internet?
You know, the internet has changed in the last 4 weeks. Very special. Now we have a flat rate and it is not very easy or it is not very cheap. Yeah, but before it was very limited. We don't have more. And we have paid for our hotel here approximately $1,500 per month, yeah, the net. And now we have the flat rate. Only 2 weeks ago, we have started on the East Coast, but it is very slow. And we pay for 1 month. We have 2 possibilities, and it's approximately $500, $600. So it is cheaper. Yeah. But we are good connected, and we are happy that we can talk with you. We are happy that we can smile with Zoom, and it is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you must know, it is for me, it is a part of my life. If I am working here 10 hours on the computer, and after I look outside and see 10, 12 glaciers, and
Wow.
the fjord is blue sky, and there is white icebergs there. It is fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really a wonderful place, and I hope I can come and visit you very soon.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Maria Pia.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
now we add some wonderful music. In 2016, Ludovico Einaudi, world-renowned pianist and composer, contributed to the Greenpeace campaign to establish okay. They wanted to establish a sanctuary in the north, and he performed this composition, Elegy for the Arctic, on a floating platform in the Arctic waters of Svalbard in front of the Wallenberg Glacier on June the 20th, 2016. And I was very lucky to get permission from Greenpeace Spain, which I thank, and Greenpeace Italy and Greenpeace International, that allowed me to include in our share-a-thon these two pieces of film. One is actually the preparation, and the other one is Elegy for the Arctic, performed by Ludovico Einaudi in the waters of Svalbard. The first clip shows the logistic preparation, and the second is the performance itself.
Right. Okay, nice. Welcome.
le decimos que... My opinion is maybe it's not. Ay. I got it. Is that Roland keyboard or something?
The Steinway, the flight is written Steinway on top.
In the box of the legs.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, that is powerful stuff, actually. It's very moving. That's really quite something. So this concludes the hour of Robert Peroni and Elegy for the Arctic. And so the next, I'm not in it, but I'll see you again, Betsy, for